President Trump, he was jazzed up about this. Here's the thing. Trump thrives on the conflict. He kind of likes the conflict. So President Trump gets up. This is his favorite place to be. Under fire in front of a big crowd of supporters. That is his place. I mean, that is his comfort place. Some of us have a quiet room where we sip coffee and think about our lives. President Trump has giant rallies filled with supporters where he yells about how he's being smacked around and how he's going to take those hits. He loves this. So here's President Trump in the mood to rumble. He says, it doesn't feel like we're being impeached. Because the reality is, most Americans don't care about it. And he's correct about this.
It doesn't really feel like we're being impeached, do you? The country is doing better than ever before. We did nothing wrong. And we have tremendous support in the Republican Party like we've never had before. Nobody's ever had this kind of support.
Okay, and then he goes on and he says, listen, Democrats right here, they're not declaring their hatred for me. They're declaring their hatred for the American voter.
With today's illegal, unconstitutional, and partisan impeachment, the do-nothing Democrats, and they are do-nothing. All they want to do is focus on this. What they could be doing are declaring their deep hatred and disdain for the American voter.
Again, he is correct about this. When he says that this is really about the Democrats can't accept what happened in the last election, correct. Okay, all of this is fine. And then President Trump gets a rolling. Then he gets a rolling. And once Bluto's a rolling, don't stop him. So he starts with the insults, the insult comedy. So there's another one of President Trump's favorite things to do. So he starts off by going after crooked Hillary. You know, you go with the old crowd pleasers, the old favorites. He says Bill is walking around the house calling for crooked Hillary.
So what happens is Bill Clinton said to crooked Hillary, his very dishonest wife, said, crooked Hillary, do you think he calls her crooked Hillary? He might. Maybe he just calls her crooked. He said crooked, I'm telling you. Crooked.
Okay, so that's funny. Okay, and then he goes after Adam Schiff again. Now, he's already called him pencil neck. Then he starts talking about how Adam Schiff is ugly. So we basically got Triumph, the insult comic dog, doing a presidential address. America. Here's President Trump going after Adam Schiff and calling him an ugly Mike. Yeah, just like Lincoln would. Just like Lincoln.
No, he's a corrupt... And then I see him. By the way, you ever see this guy? He walks up to the mics. I mean, we're not... In all fairness, look, I don't want to be... Because with me, too, I never even think about looks anymore, okay? I don't talk about looks of a male or female. But in his case, let's just say, last time I'll ever refer to this, he's not exactly the best-looking guy we've ever seen. So, no.
Oh, it's so stupid. Everything is stupid. The impeachment is stupid. The response to the impeachment is stupid. The speech is stupid. Everything's stupid. If you can't enjoy this, I don't know what's wrong with you. Like, at least you got to enjoy the ride, man. Again, we all bought this ticket. We all have a part to play here. We'll get to President Trump. So President Trump starts with the insult comedy, and he starts here, and it's like, it's pretty good. And then he's sort of like, well, you're getting into a little dicier territory. And then President Trump is like, they're still laughing. They're still laughing. Watch me throw out a full-on Richard Pryor. And then he just goes for it. And we'll talk about President Trump going for it and why him having no lines is like the biggest obstacle to his own reelection is Trump, right? Obviously. And then we'll get to the Democratic strategy on impeachment moving forward, which is one of the dumber strategies I have ever heard in my entire life. Okay, so President Trump's response to the impeachment is pretty much right on. It's like, look, this is just partisan. They're after you. They're not really after me. And that is true. But President Trump just reminded us last night that his greatest asset is the fact that the media hate him and the fact that Democrats hate him. And his greatest foible is the fact that he cannot stop himself. So he starts with the insult comedy at his rally in Michigan. And he starts off with the crooked Hillary bit, which is very funny. And then he goes on to the Adam Schiff bit, which is a little bit less funny, but still kind of funny. And then he goes after John Dingell. John Dingell, so Debbie Dingell's a representative in Michigan. She just took over her husband, John Dingell's seat. John Dingell was in Congress for 1,000 years, and he recently died. And Trump, in the middle of this rally, sort of dumps out the idea that John Dingell may be in hell, which is like, oh my God, why? Here's the president.
Do this, do that. Rotunda, everything. I gave him everything. That's okay. I don't want anything for it. I don't need anything for anything. She calls me up. It's the nicest thing that's ever happened. Thank you so much. John would be so thrilled. He's looking down. He'd be so, thank you so much, sir. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up. I don't know.
Okay, so Debbie Dingell then went on national TV and she's like, you probably shouldn't imply that my husband's in hell. Like, that seems like not a good thing to do. And correct, fact check true. You probably shouldn't do that. Okay, so again, the greatest threat to Trump's reelection is not the Democrats, it's not the media, it's Trump doing this kind of stuff. Okay, speaking of the media, you've got Chris Matthews. So the Democrats have set up this conundrum. If Trump stays in office, he's going to steal the next election. If he leaves office, then he won't steal the next election, but we don't actually have the grounds to oust him. So you have Chris Matthews, who's out there doing the full-on Democrat routine. Will on over here, come on the show, come in here. Now that Trump's been impeached, he's going to do anything to stay in office. He'll just do anything, as opposed to before when he would do anything to stay in office. Now he's definitely going to do anything to stay in office. It's as though I had a conclusion already written in my head, and then I just kind of rolled in here all rumpled. And I was like, let's just say it again. Ha! Go!
He is now ugly, because he used the word the other day. Impeachment is ugly. I'm now ugly. How's he going to react to this? He's now ugly in history. He is ugly in history. And how's he going to react to that? Is he going to break worse? But I'll tell you one thing it's going to do to him. He now will do anything to get reelected, because it's the only way back for him. Right. Is to double this, to win twice, no matter what the deep state, fake media, et cetera, et cetera. He has to win the next time.
He's ugly in history. I mean, like, super ugly. Super. Is he going to break bad? Is he going to start cooking meth? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to have Trump meth with big T? It won't be blue, it'll be gold. Ha! Chris Matthews. And so what exactly is Nancy Pelosi going to do now? So here's the problem for the Democrats. Yesterday was a big day for them. Like, yeah, we impeached the president. Now he's definitely not going to be the... Oh, wait, like, now... Oh, like, this has to go to the Senate, and Mitch McConnell runs the Senate. Mitch McConnell went off this morning specifically because Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats have decided upon a stratagem. What exactly is their stratagem? Their stratagem, get ready for it. Their strategy is that if they do not get the procedures that they like from Mitch McConnell, they may withhold the impeachment articles. So they won't allow a Senate trial. They'll just hold it. They won't send it over to the Senate. The Senate, by the way, gets to decide its own procedures the same way the House gets to decide its procedures. And Nancy Pelosi, she actually said this morning that they may not convey the articles of impeachment to the Senate. So Pelosi, she announced this. This is actually late last night. Maybe we won't convey it. Maybe we'll just sit here until we get the impeachment procedures that we want, which is basically like that scene from Blazing Saddles, where the black sheriff, in an attempt to avoid his own lynching, puts a gun to his own head and threatens the townspeople that he's going to shoot himself. Like, this is the Democrats going, if you don't give me what I want, I'm going to commit suicide. If you do not change your procedures on impeachment, we just won't send you impeachment. How about that? How about that? And then he won't, and then he'll be impeached. He won't be, and then you'll, and then, what's the logic here? So Mitch McConnell gets up on the floor of the Senate this morning. He's like, are you joking? Are you joking? Are you looking at me? Cocaine Mitch? You're looking at me? A turtle who deals actual crack cocaine? And you're telling me that you're going to play with me? Does this look like the face of a man you play with, says Mitch McConnell? Here he goes.
Speaker Pelosi's House just gave into a temptation that every other House in our history has managed to resist. They impeach a president whom they do not even allege has committed an actual crime known to our laws.
And then McConnell goes on, he's like, and so your plan is to threaten me by not allowing me to hold a trial on the impeachment articles you are so confident of. So your pitch is, if Trump isn't impeached, like Chris Matthews says, then he'll do anything to win. He'll cheat. He'll call the Chinese. He'll have them butts over voters in Iowa. And so your plan is to not submit your articles of impeachment to the only body capable of removing President Trump from office, and to threaten the Republicans with this, looking petty and idiotic in the process.